Last year, I actually went back to nursing because after taking like a year and a half off after COVID, I was just like burnt out. I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to reality TV and things that are associated with that. When I went back to my home hospital, everyone was like, why are you here? They're like, go back to New York, like go do that, like actually do it.
What would you say you're pulling through from nursing now to your creator career?
The stakes are just so different, which is nice because I'm like, I don't have to worry about keeping anybody alive. I don't have to worry about drips, running out of drugs, like the stakes are so different, but I actually appreciate like getting to use the creative side of my brain and like getting to talk more with people and relate to them in a different way. I feel like if that's one thing reality TV taught me, it's like, sometimes you're just a little nutty and that's fine, but that still sells, and like, be honest. Not everything makes total sense sometimes, but there's someone somewhere that can like relate to it.
Welcome to More to Say. I'm Amber Vinsbox, founder of LTK, the company that turned creator influence into a global economy. On this show, I sit down with the voices shaping what's next, from trailblazing creators and founders to media leaders and cultural catalysts. We talk candidly about building brands, making hard decisions, and staying relevant in a world that never stops moving. So if you want to understand where business, influence, and culture are going and how to lead the way, well, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Whether you are a physician or a fashion influencer, being a creator today is really table stakes. We're living in an era where people have moments of virality. Maybe you were in the news for a certain reason, or maybe your video went viral on a social media platform, or maybe you are on a reality show. There's a million reasons why you can find yourself in the spotlight. And what we are unpacking today is how you take that moment and turn it in a lifetime of a career. So today I've invited Ciara Miller of Summer House. Ciara captivated audiences, and now she's captivated an LTK audience. Today she's going to talk to us about her professional background. She actually started in nursing and then shifted to reality television, is now going to be a creator. She's thinking about this whole world very differently. She's going to share with us the things that have worked for her, where she has stumbled, and just advice for anyone in her position, as she is now shifting from storytelling in someone else's hands to on her own terms and her own platform. This is a wonderful episode. I hope you enjoy, and thank you for being here. So what are you going to do after reality television? You going back?
No, I feel like I always get that question, but it's like, what am I? I'm always thinking like, what is the pivot after reality TV? Out of all my careers, I always am like, I don't plan on being like a 20-year vet to anything. And that maybe sounds like so non-committal, but even when I was nursing, I was like, I won't be here for 10 years. And even
really? After all the training
after
and
all
everything.
of that, when I was in orientation in the hospital, I looked at one of my friends and he loves to tell this story. He's like, because somebody made a comment like, oh, when you get to year 5, and I was like, year 5? I don't know. I just I was like, I don't know, like if I'll be here in the same exact spot in 5 years. That doesn't sound like my future. And then like when I got to reality TV, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'll be here for 15 years or maybe even like 10 years. I think I'll always try to have a presence, but in terms of like reality TV, no, I definitely don't want like the veteran sticker. I want to be able to like have a family and like have kids and not grow up like in the spotlight and like, you know, have their childhood be like a little bit normal. Lights, camera, action doesn't really.
What was the tipping point for you to move on from nursing to a new career?
Oh my God. Last year, I actually went back to nursing because after taking like a year and a half off after COVID, I was just like burnt out. I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to reality TV and things that are associated with that. And then I kind of got uprooted. I think reality TV is it almost feels like kind of gluttonous compared to nursing. I was like, I need to put my feet back on the ground. So I went back to nursing at my home hospital in Georgia. And I'm like going through orientation and I work there for pretty much maybe like 8 months of the year, but like on a PRN, very low level. It's like you can work 3 shifts every like 6 to 8 weeks or something. So I did that because I was just like feeling lost in the TV world. And I was like, I feel like I have one foot in the door, one foot out. wanna keep my feet on the ground, but then people are like, "Why?" When I went back to my home hospital, everyone was like, "Why are you here?" They're like, "Go back to New York, like, go do that, like, actually do it." And I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm not ready." Like, I just felt like I'm like, "But I still wanna know what's going on in the hospital, like, what's current?" And they're like, "The hospital will always be here if you wanna come back." My boss, like, sat me down in her office, and she's like, "You need to go." She's like, "So when you wanna turn" she's like, "Whenever you wanna turn in your 2 weeks, you can, but, like, you don't need to be here." And I was like, "Okay." So then at the top of this year, they, like, let me go, and I was like, "You know what? Okay." So it's really just this year where I was like, "Okay, I'm putting all of myself into this."
Mhm.
Still having my license and everything, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet on this.
What does all of yourself into this mean?
That means, like, being a creator, being an influencer, or whatever they wanna call it, being a TV personality and kind of letting my nursing background kind of fall to the wayside a little bit, just kind of trying to immerse myself in all the opportunities that come with being on TV, being a creator, letting my audience in a little bit more, and trying to build a community around everything that I'm kind of already doing.
What would you say you're pulling through from nursing now to your creator career? Or how did it prepare you? Because I have the sociological mindset. Like there's some characteristics about you and definitely some wisdom I'm sure you learned in the hospital that have probably made you successful here.
Yeah, I guess, like, what's a big deal and what's not a big deal, you know? I think nursing always has a way of keeping your feet on the ground, like I said before, like, it just brings a certain amount of, like, realness to your life. Yeah, and I hate to say, like, everything's not that serious, but it's like the stakes are just so different, which is nice because I'm like, I don't have to worry about keeping anybody alive. I don't have to worry about drips, running out of drugs, like, the stakes are so different, but I actually appreciate, like, getting to use the creative side of my brain and, like, getting to talk more with people and relate to them in a different way, and I feel like nursing has definitely taught me gentleness and care and, like, the kindness, gentleness that I feel like people see in me on TV and as well as on my socials.
So I was looking at your stats this year. So your LTK followers have grown to 36,000. It's grown 77% this year. One of the things I often think about when our team says that there's someone joining LTK that has been on reality television, my
Mhm.
immediate reaction is capture audience as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because once you're no longer on the show, that audience is no longer reachable. And so we have to like carry them through and make them
Mhm.
part of your community. You've been doing that pretty rapid fire. Tell me a little bit about like the community retention element of your strategy.
Yeah, I think I almost underestimated how much people were interested in the things that I was wearing, doing, carrying, like, it almost caught me a little off guard, and then, like, I started me and my social team, we started aligning, like, all of my outfits and anything that I even, like, touched in the house during Summer House filming, um, lining that up with the LTK for it to go live, like, the night of so that everyone could find links, and I remember, like, the first episode of this of season 9, I was wearing, like, this Free People skirt, and it sold out, and everyone was like, "Where can we get it?" I'm like, Guys, it's sold out. I don't even know. I guess we'll wait for it to come back into stock." But just trying to align everything with the show, and even just now, like, if I'm posting something, we immediately link it. So having more, like, of a sense of urgency when it comes to, um, posting and just trying to do, like, more casual FaceTime, like, raw content where it's not super, like, I'm selling you anything. It's just, like, me chatting about whatever it is that I
Um,
bought.
One of the themes that we talked about today at LTK Con was the shift from, people and their appetite for consumerism versus storytelling.
Right.
And certainly being on the show, they're caring about the skirt probably because they identify with you and your character and what's happening
Yeah.
kind of in the situation. I'm curious how you kind of reflect on that today and then how that pulls through with your business.
Yeah. I mean, the storytelling is definitely that was so interesting because I always feel like, I don't wanna sell I'm like, I can't sell a pencil to a teacher. Like, I'm not a saleswoman, like, when I was, like, in college, I dated this guy, he was in sales, and I'm like, I just couldn't convince someone to buy anything. My mom was like, You literally do that, though." I was like, "Yeah, but, like, I'm wearing it. It's not like I can." She was like, "You can talk about things that you really love and care about so easily."
Mhm.
But I think in terms of the show, it's just 'cause people obviously I don't have to do I do my own storytelling via the show, and look, I'll be honest, like, I'm a little bit guarded on my own social media, and, like, you on the main stage today, you were like, "Share your whole life." I literally, like, clutched my pearls. I was like, "That is so scary," even though I'm already on TV, but it's like, in the off months, I'm like, "Yeah, I actually think maybe I should let people in more on what I'm doing, how I'm a day in my life, what I have going on outside of TV, and
So
creating more of that stronger community."
I was at a creator dinner last night and we were talking about just TV broadly, not necessarily this show. And I was pointing out that I went back and I watched, because obviously the Kardashians have been on TV forever.
Forever.
And I was like, I honestly, I don't watch a ton of TV.
Yeah.
Right now, just work is keeping me very tied up. And so I went back to see like what happens on these shows, like
Yeah.
what has to be going on for this to be like repeat seasons. Actually, nothing happens.
Yeah.
I finished
Yeah.
the show. I was like, we had a lot of commercial breaks. We had some like kitchen conversations. Some people walked through. Like
Right.
literally nothing happened. And these shows keep getting picked up. And here's what I think is interesting about the strategy. I think because I'm like, why does Kim let them in her home? Why does Courtney?
Yeah.
Why do any of them? Right? And I think it's because they already have money, right? And
Yeah.
they already
No,
have their businesses.
that's what I always am like, y'all are so rich. What's the point, you know?
Well, so here's what I think the point is, though. If they're in front of their audience constantly, even if they are doing nothing,
Yeah.
then that audience is thinking about them so that they can launch Skims, so that they can launch Good American, so that they can launch tequila. All of that happens just because we have such visibility. And it's interesting, like from a sociological perspective, the more you see something, the more you like it,
Yeah.
even if it's
No,
honestly deeply uninteresting.
No, I am always like, I'm like, I don't really care about the Kardashians. I am going to their pages for inspo. Like, that's so true. Like, the more you see someone, the more relevant they are. They're front of mind. And so,
Yes.
yeah, I think that for people, especially during the airing season, the numbers definitely align with that. And so my biggest thing now is like, okay, how do I pivot that and turn that into something in the off season? Like, how do I stay top of mind in the off season? How do I keep them interested and staying engaged with them? And that's where it's like replying to comments and replying to DMs, like really come in.
And I think too, it's showing, it's interesting on the way to con here. I just did content and I had this like Abercrombie sweater, but underneath a Miu Miu jacket. And I was showing like how I layered it and why I layered it. And I don't do a lot of that content just because I'm working or busy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I did get a lot of reaction of like, we appreciate the thought process behind it. Like we liked knowing not just that you were wearing, but how you did it. So sometimes I think when I say like show your whole life, maybe it's just like I'm going to dinner, but this is why I did what I did. And it's just kind of taking the time to connect with somebody. But it is interesting how that frequency and repetition is so important. And one of the themes we talked about today was having an owned, reachable audience. And the reachable part's so important because it's the repetition that gives you credibility in a relationship and trust. But there's so many wonderful cases, honestly, of people who have had a moment, whether it's a viral video or it's a moment on TV, and pulled it through. And you're doing a great job pulling that all over.
Thanks. I value that. I appreciate that.
Well, you gave so many tips on stage. You were part of a panel. You had the audience dying laughing about all of your hot tips. You're very natural. And I was even identifying with so much of what you were saying. I guess, what do you think were some of the great nuggets that you shared with the group in the room?
I mean, like, just be yourself. I feel like it's so, if you have to be someone else or maintain a persona that's not even really you, that is so hard to me. It's so much easier to just be yourself, be real, even if it's like a little crazy. I feel like if that's one thing reality TV taught me, it's like sometimes you're just a little nutty and that's fine, but that still sells, and like be honest. And not everything makes total sense sometimes, but there's someone somewhere that can like relate to it. And I'm like, I love a sale. I love discounts. Even though I'm in like YSL shoes right now and like I'm not like a designer person, but it like takes me a while to even click purchase because I'm like, I always have buyer's remorse after I buy something
They look
so
great,
expensive.
by the way. They even looked great on stage.
Thanks. These are my show stopping shoes. But yeah, like just be relatable and be true to who you are. And then give me the discount codes to things, you know?
I think you said 15% is not a discount.
No.
I
No.
died.
I'm like 30% or more.
Yeah.
15, 10. What am I going to do with 10?
I know. I think it's all those pop-ups that collected our emails for so long that
Yeah.
gave us 15%. You're like, of course you're giving me 15% off. What else?
Right.
What is
I'm like
behind this?
$1.50, $2. No.
We're good. I'm going to keep my email address. What's top of mind for you right now as you kind of pursue growing this creator business?
I think consistency is definitely something that I struggle with. I think I go through the motions just with filming, airing, where sometimes it's hard for me to give my full attention. And even though I do have support, it's like I still need to be the anchor in that and making sure that things are getting done and that I'm delivering ample content and I'm taking the moments to show parts of my life to hand over to them. So definitely like my consistency and also just streamlining some more things to kind of make my life a little bit easier. I think like, you know, whether I want to like batch content or, you know, set designated days to do certain things. A lot of times my filming schedule will throw me completely out of whack, but just creating more structure and routine in my day, I think that I can always improve on that.
Mhm. I heard a lot of that this week of people kind of comparing their days and their routines. Even last night at dinner, one of the creators, there's, like I said, we were tables of 4, and one of them had each of us go around. And she was like, I want to know top to bottom, like your full days start from when you wake up and tell me what time
Mm,
it is. And it was really interesting because we were all sort of comparing notes about like how you organize your day and your
yeah,
time. And I think that can be some of the honestly the most groundbreaking stuff
right.
for being efficient. And one creator who's a top creator on LTK said that she only with her team, she meets Monday mornings from 8:30 to noon. And then she's done the rest of the time. She has like time blocked for filming, but otherwise she's like off in her life. And I just thought that that was super wild. There was
Wow.
another girl who said that basically she works Monday through Wednesday. She takes the rest of the time off, but like there's like 2 of the days are set aside for just like all filming, and then she's passed it on, and then she's going to live her life. It's really interesting just to hear how people do it.
Yeah.
Something you mentioned too was like being in the platform, because sometimes you can delegate things to people,
Mhm.
and I do think that you get more. A lot of things have to be delegated, right? But like even kind of being in it and getting your own perspective too can kind of show through and is useful.
For sure, yeah, and, like, having my hands on it as opposed to just passing it off, but, yeah, I definitely think, yeah, the routines, how people structure their day, because sometimes you think that they're working, like well, I think when you're working for yourself, it's easy to work 7 days a week, you know, and, like,
Entirely.
creating boundaries and, like, having days that you're going to do this, this, and that, I think that creates
Mhm.
a better mind flow. It creates a better
Right.
flow in your head.
Yes. Having a plan
Yeah.
is definitely step one. Okay, a couple rapid fire
Okay.
questions for you. What's the last thing you bought because another creator recommended it?
Um, I mean, I'm on TikTok, so, like, there's, like, a fish sweatshirt on TikTok that I bought.
Do you know who you bought it from?
Honestly, no. I just thought it was cute. I'm like, what is something else? Yeah, I'm always buying something.
We're gonna check out your public
Yeah.
profile. See who you're stalking. What's one fashion trend that you are loving right now?
A low-rise jean. I
Oh,
love a low-rise.
mhm.
Baggy, the baggier the better.
Yeah. And then
Just
what kind of top do you put back with that? I struggle.
a white tank. I feel like
Okay,
if you can wear white you can wear a white tank anywhere. Dress it up, dress it down.
true.
There's a girl on TikTok, I forgot her name. She was like, "I'm wearing a tank top for" she's like, "30 days." Like, I'm putting a white tank top with everything. And I feel like she was like all of her outfits were so cool, but I was like, "You're really that girl when you can wear a white tank top and make it
So
look so different each time."
there's one on my LTK right now, and it's under $20. It's from Amazon. It has a built-in bra, and it's actually a really nice material. I'm like, that's the one. You could
Okay.
buy like 20 of those.
Ooh,
They
yeah.
just look fresh.
Oh, there's one that's like the Tank Air dupes too
Oh,
that I bought, and I bought them in like 4 different colors. It's on my Amazon too. Yeah, I put it on my LTK because I bought it in blue, purple, brown, white, black, all the things, but it's like really smooth. It's kind of like it's a
yeah.
Tank Air dupe.
I'm taking that tip home because I bought some cool, like, wide leg jeans around
Yeah,
my birthday, and I have pretty much not worn them. So I'm like, what do I do now?
white tank
White tank. Okay.
when in doubt.
What is your dream brand collaboration?
Oh, my dream brand collaboration, probably like a beauty campaign of some sort. I would probably say like Fenty would be my
Mm,
dream brand,
yeah.
but also my dream is also to be on QVC for like an hour.
can
and
probably make that happen.
talk about a product. Don't even care what it is. Honestly, probably a Dyson vacuum, but I love QVC.
Okay, team, let's tee that up.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can make dreams come true.
Yeah.
Was there something else that crossed your mind you wanted to share?
No, it was QVC.
That was
thought.
QVC.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're rooting for you. Love hearing your story, and thank you for sharing your hot tips.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You can listen to More to Say on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And I'd love to hear from you. Share your comments and questions in the reviews section, or you can reach me at Amber Vinsbox on LTK, Instagram, or LinkedIn.